Hello there. This podcast is brought to you by Pherisis, a digital product design and development company. For today, we have Mr. Abhishek Sansanwal, who is the founder and CEO of Verb and creator of Verb Ed program. He is also a TEDx speaker and international award winner titled Top 50 Tech Leaders by Intercon Dubai. Also, a recipient of Asia One's 40 Under 40 Most Influential Indians and Young Entrepreneur Excellence Award by NCCN. He is also a Google Venkat Memorial Scholar. So let's get started. So, hello Abhishek. Hope you are doing great.
Hi, I'm doing well. I hope you're doing great as well.
Yeah, I'm doing great. And it's like your college is online right now?
Yeah, it should be. I mean, we're about to have exams starting on 2nd Feb. So yeah, all that is online.
Yeah, great. So, let's talk a bit about Verb, like your own startup, and
hmm
how and when you started, and how is it doing now, and what are your future plans?
Yeah, sure. So when I was in third semester, I think, or yeah, when I was in third semester in October 2018,
Yeah.
that's when I started worked. And why I started was because when I was in third semester, I had done like 5 to 6 internships, and my fellow batchmates, they couldn't find a single internship or a single project to work on.
Yeah.
So that got me thinking, like, why does this happen? And it was pretty clear that it's a matter of luck. So when a fresher goes for an interview, the employers always want to hire someone that has more experience, right?
Mm-hmm.
But how can someone get the experience when they weren't provided the opportunity in the first place? So with
Okay.
that sort of idea, I started Verb, that I will provide opportunities to freshers who don't have any experience. They can come work with me on live projects. I had the right resources, I was connected with the right people. So yeah, I thought, let's make something out of it, and I started Verb. We used to make um, web and mobile applications back then. Then we started with designing, marketing, growth hacking,
Okay.
and that's how we evolved.
And like I have seen there is some sort of work program that you are planning to launch. Tell me a
Yeah.
bit about that.
Mhm. Yeah, sure. So I think when we started Verved, initially the idea was really simple. There was no aim in mind to build a big company or anything. I just wanted to help out my friends, honestly.
Okay.
But then within just 2 months of its launch, our clientele increased a
Okay.
lot. It doubled, tripled. A lot of people started calling,
Okay.
and yeah, and with that we sort of drifted away from the idea that we started with. We were getting into this corporate side of business, where we just had to finish the projects, meet the deadlines. And so I thought our main idea was to help students. How about
Mm-hmm.
we make a program that's specific to that particular goal? And
Mm-hmm.
that's when we thought, I think we should make a WorkDate program. And yeah, that's how that was born. It's a mentorship program,
Mm-hmm.
where a student is guided throughout their journey. They get their first internship at Verve, and then they get their second internship at one of our associated companies. So that was the rough idea.
That's great. Like you're doing a great job. So my next question is, startup is a very new culture in India, right? Like the thing
hmm
startup and like having your own startup is very new thing. And many students, despite of having like very genuine interest, they get lost in the big sea, like where to approach, where to go. Even though they have a very good idea, they cannot build a product and sell it in the market.
hmm
So how did you cope with that situation? Like, did you face that kind of confusion and stress, and how did you cope with that?
hmm Yeah, great question. In my case, I would say we were surely like diving into a sea where there were a lot of people that were already doing this, a lot
Mm-hmm.
of tech companies, a lot of companies that make applications and do marketing and all this stuff. um
Mm-hmm.
but what no company was doing was combining that with sort of the education field, and providing
Okay.
opportunities to them,
Mm-hmm.
connecting with colleges. So that was our USP. And yeah, I would say we found our market fit. There was certainly a need of it, and I think that was because I experienced it myself when before starting Verve. when I couldn't find opportunities, being from a low tier college. And then after I got the opportunities, I still observed that a lot of people are struggling with it. So there was a clear need of it in the market. And I
Mm-hmm.
think the most important thing when you're starting out is to make sure that there is a market fit for your product or your idea or your service. Market fit is that
Okay.
whatever you're doing, there is someone in the market that wants it or needs it.
Okay.
I think a lot
So
of startups don't focus on that.
yeah, like most of them, they will be having an idea what they want to sell, and they don't see what the
Yeah,
market wants, the what the public wants. So mostly fail there, I guess.
exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I like also how important do you think networking is? Like, I mean, you said you did a lot of internship and you got it, while other of your friends they were not able to get it. So, do you think
Hmm.
is there any role that networking played in your life in getting internships? And where do one start networking? Like, we all know it's important. So, where do one start it, and how did you start networking and got through so many
Hmm.
internships?
Yeah. So I would say networking for sure played a really big part in my career. And how it all started was I actually like started going to these different conferences and technical events right from the first semester itself. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I still remember when I went to my first event, it was in, I think, I don't remember the name, but it was in a really big hotel in Delhi. It was
Okay.
Digital Oceans event, and I found a CEO there. I just started talking to them. I told them that I make iOS
Mm-hmm.
apps, and then they were like, we're trying to solve the parking problem. We have a
Mm-hmm.
company in Gurgaon. Would you like to join us as an iOS developer?" And that was it.
Okay.
So,
That's
yes, just
that's
like
great.
that.
That's great.
Yeah, just like that, I can like count at least 20, 30 opportunities where just by talking to the person they were like, would you like to come work with us?
Okay.
So I think, yeah, that's how my sort of networking, you could say, abilities were born, or when I realized that how important sorry, not marketing, networking can be.
Yeah.
And yeah, then I just, after realizing that, I was always active in online, offline, on different platforms, going to conferences, national, international, giving talks, and just communicating with everybody.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's totally important.
Yeah. I mean,
Mhm.
like, what happens with many students, I guess, especially who are from tier two or tier three colleges, they fear to approach. They fear to approach and say that, yeah, I can do this. Do you have any opportunities? And
Mhm.
like one of like I think it was someone some company's a CEO or managing director, they came to our college and they said like पूछने में क्या है, like he was working at Microsoft and
Exactly.
he did something really great with the email spamming thing. So he was like पूछने में क्या है, मतलब most of us lack there only, we are so scared that we
Mhm.
don't go and even approach the person, so we self reject ourselves, which is
Yeah,
absolutely so wrong. Yeah. And
totally, I agree with that.
yeah, and
Mhm.
like how you are also in LinkedIn and you have quite a great follower there and you are very interactive there. So like how LinkedIn help you in your entire career?
Okay, again, LinkedIn also played a really crucial role. At least like majorly, in fact, like now during this pandemic, since last year, most
Yeah.
of the opportunities I found through LinkedIn. In fact, I'm currently working as product manager intern at Famwork. It's a healthcare startup. I found
Hmm.
that through LinkedIn. I found another opportunity through LinkedIn. It
Hmm.
was a company based out in France.
Okay.
And yeah, I think majorly almost all speaker invites I got and the awards that I've got, they were all like through LinkedIn. People
Yeah,
reached out
even
to
I
me on
approached you
LinkedIn.
through LinkedIn.
Yeah, even you approached me through LinkedIn. So yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
it's
LinkedIn
yeah,
is a pretty good platform. Like one should know to handle it and bank on. You can get
exactly.
internship jobs and then anything you want. So
Yeah.
I would absolutely suggest everyone go for LinkedIn and just start. If you are in your first year, also just start. You will love it. So,
Mhm.
building your own startup, it is a risky thing, right? Like, not at least in your first or second year, but when placements are approaching, we in college, right? You are in fourth year, I'm in third year. People around us, like our friends and people there, they are studying for their placements, data structure and stuff, and then they want a high paying job that gives them security, right? And that time,
Mhm.
how do you feel like you are planning for your own startup, and your startup is doing pretty great, but there are people who are just starting on with their own startup, and uh, they don't know what they will be doing, and how their startup will be doing in future. They might feel anxious, and it's a stressful time, right? Whether you need to prepare for job or you need to prepare for startup, so you get confused between the two things, which is entirely different. So how are you dealing with it? Like, you're also in your final year.
Uh, yeah, yeah. I am not, first of all, I'm not sitting in these placements or anything like that. So I
Okay.
don't like let those affect my business or what I do. Um, but yeah, I understand that students would get confused. Like, should we go for placements? Our friends are going to, our friends are getting placed at these companies. Should we go there
Yeah.
as well? Yeah, I would say that question will only arise if you are doing something that you don't really enjoy and are not passionate about. So
Okay.
if you really like believe in your idea, then you would be totally into it. You'll totally be just
Mm-hmm.
working towards your goal, towards the roadmap that you have in mind. Um, but I would say, like, a lot of it again, it depends from entrepreneur to entrepreneur. Like, if a student does not have the right skills yet, like they just started a company because they wanted to do that, they just wanted to be an entrepreneur. They had an idea without thinking of any market fit or doing any research. They just started a company. So that there are great chances that it will fail, and it probably will fail, right? Um, so I would say, like, if you really know that you have like the skills, or if you have proven to yourself that you can make this happen, you can make it work, then go ahead and focus on it. And on the same page, I would say that there's nothing wrong if you go with placements, work for a year or two and gain some experience and see how companies work, how to manage a company. um, and then come back and start your own startup, I would say.
That's great. Like, that's a pretty good advice. My next question to you is, how do you define success? Like,
Hmm.
when will you feel that you are successful? And what should be the parametrics to decide your level of success and your happiness?
Wow, that's a tough question because that's something I have absolutely no idea about. But I will say that, like, to me, success would just be doing something, and that you would like to wake up for and work towards, and at the end of the day, feel a bit satisfied with what you've done in that day. I
Okay.
think, yeah, that'd be success for
Yeah,
me. I don't, yeah,
that's a
I
pretty
don't,
good way of
yeah,
deciding that.
I
Happiness
don't
is
really
what
like
matters.
have,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't have any like metrics to measure success, because um I just feel like there's so many variables that influence your life. Even
Mm-hmm.
if you think that if I make this much amount of money, then I'll be successful.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's just always more. There's always more. You could set a level, you could set a target to achieve, but once you reach there, you will want to achieve more, so it never
Mm-hmm.
stops, I think.
Yeah,
So
true
yeah, you
said.
just have to be satisfied with yourself, and once you are, then just keep working in that direction.
Yeah, great. And also, you have done GSOC also, right? And other some open source programs. So, how did you know about them? Like, most people are unaware about what open source is and how to apply for GSOC, and how did you prepare for it?
Hmm. Okay, so how did I know? I would say I used to stalk my seniors. right, I used to stalk my seniors when I was in first year, and I used
Okay.
to see, okay, wow, these two three people have done Google Summer of Code, and they are doing really well now, so that must be something. And then I just looked up on the internet and read more about what it is, what open source is.
Mm-hmm.
And I still like, I felt like I couldn't clear it. I just thought the GSOC is like something really hard and you have to be really good at, your field of work. Yeah, like my field was iOS development. So I thought I have to be a really good iOS developer to get selected in Google Summer of Code. But yeah, then in February, I remember, which is pretty late, GSOC
Mm-hmm.
starts, like the proposal submission is in March. And
Mm-hmm.
I always advise, or like a safe way is to be contributing for like 4 or 5 months before that time.
Mm-hmm.
But in February, I attended this seminar in our college by Prakhar Srivastav. He was a GSOCer, and he just shared about his experience and how it helped him. And so that day I went back home, I opened Google Summer of Code, registered there, and started contributing. My first contribution was on 1st March to Amahi, the organization that I worked with. And
Okay.
yeah, but I just got selected, and that's it.
That's like pretty good. Like you must be brilliant. Like you started quite late, and then also a proposal is
Yeah.
also something very important, I guess. There.
Hmm. Yeah, totally. A lot of people think that you like just submit a great proposal, or just contribute, and that's all it takes. But I would say, what is really important, what's the most important, is how active you are in the community. So
Mm-hmm.
if your mentors, if they know your name, if they remember your name, then even if you submit a really bad proposal, you will get selected, because they know
Okay.
that say Abhishek Sansanwal has been contributing to our application. He is really active in the community. He helps out people that are new to the community. So that is something that I observed, like from my experience.
Okay.
You
Okay.
have to be
So like
active.
one should be active in the company they are wanting to do GSOC at.
Yeah, be active and contribute. Start early, even though I started late, but play it safe. Start early, and yeah, just apply. Don't stress about it. And it's super easy. It's not that tough,
Yeah.
and it's really fun. Yeah.
Also, like when you started your first year, there would be like when I personally started my first year, there were my seniors and internet and everything telling me so much about so many things like study ML, you will get a nice job, study data analytics, you will get a nice job, study AI, study web, study mobile,
Hmm.
and one gets messed up like what should I study because everything is different. And some will again say study only data structure, it will do, you will get a job, but you need
Yeah.
development also. So a kid gets confused. I really got confused. So was it the case with you? And if it was, then how did you dealt with like how do you know that you wanted to do
Uh-huh.
iOS development and fixed, that's it?
Yeah. That's a great question. And in fact, almost everyone, 99% of people face this problem. They ask others what to do. Their professors say something, seniors say something else. People that are more into research, they will say get into machine learning. People that are working with startups, they'll say learn web development or mobile development, and you'll get a job. Um, but I think what I would suggest is you really have to try it all.
Mm-hmm.
And what I mean by that is, I always say you have to have this explore mindset where you're never settling, right? You always have to
Mm-hmm.
keep exploring different things. And again, it's not about finding that one thing that you want to do, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not like you'll wake up one day and you'll just know that this is what I should do. So you have to try things and find out those that you don't want to do, and eventually you'll see that, okay, this is something that I really enjoy doing. And so that's what happened with me. I tried different things, Android, ML. I in fact spent thousands of rupees on different courses online, doing Udacity nano degrees.
Mm-hmm.
um, I learned machine learning, Android, web, all these different fields, different programming languages. But then when I tried iOS, that really, like, sort of like hit me, and I was like, okay, this is something I could, like, do for 5 6 years. This is something really cool.
Okay.
um and that's when I decided, let's dive more into this. thing. And also, I think adding to this point, I would say, don't like think that once you've decided, once you're pursuing a field, you have to keep working in it. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Because even though I started with iOS, now I don't code at all. Now I'm completely into management side of things. Now I work as a product manager, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Where we don't essentially have to code, but we
Mm-hmm.
manage the whole life cycle of the product. So yeah, that's what I would say. Just be flexible, try different things, and you will know what to do once you've dipped your feet in all different things. Once you've tried a little bit of everything, that's
Mm-hmm.
when you'll know.
Yeah, yeah. Correct, correct. Um, like my next question is like you have given
Mhm.
two TED talks, which is like pretty cool and a great thing. How and you have also got so many awards for your work. So how did this achievement affect your life? Like, did it bring any kind of changes, like the person you were before having all these great achievements and the person you are after getting all this achievement? Like, did it affect the way people look at you or your personal life?
That's an interesting one. Um, I would say first of all, the TEDx experiences, those were amazing. Like I remember even 2 days, 2 years before, joining college, when I was in school, and since childhood,
Mhm.
we all like look up motivational videos and these TEDx videos pop up.
Yeah.
And it was amazing to like go from there to giving two TEDx talks of my own. That was a great experience. And um I am grateful for all the like awards that I've got. Now coming to the second part, how it affected me, I'm not really sure, but I would say it probably like boosted my confidence,
Mm-hmm.
because I still think like I haven't done anything too extraordinary, right? I in fact don't really know what is that my one call, what is my passion. I
Mm-hmm.
just faced some problems in my college time when I started when I was in first year. I built a solution for it. I started a company, and so I just solved the problems that I faced along the way. It's not like I did anything extraordinary. So yeah, I'm not too sure, but talking like career wise, for sure, it had a really large and positive impact, because a lot of like people started reaching out to me, for different,
Yeah.
for more talks, for more projects.
Yeah.
In fact, a lot of startups, people like entrepreneurs reached out, would you like to join? That was like, I guess, the impact.
That's pretty good impact, I think. So now, tell me a bit about your Google Venkat scholarship. Like you won that scholarship last year, and how did you apply for it? And what are the other scholarships that one can apply for? Like, let's talk a bit about
Mhm.
how should one approach scholarships and how did you um,
Yeah, yeah,
won
okay.
that?
So yeah, I'll start with the Google Venkat Scholarship itself. So I was the Google Venkat Scholar of 19 to 20 cohort, and I would like to share that I applied for this scholarship in 2018 as well, and I did not get it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then in 2019 I applied again, and at that time I think I had the top 50 tech leader Dubai award and like a little bit of Verved experience to share, and sort of some impact to show in the application. So yeah, how to apply this? Just like you just go to the website when the application starts and you fill up the form. There's, I think, you have to submit a 1 minute or 2 minute video sharing why you should be selected for the scholarship and how you will use the scholarship amount. And also there are like 2 3 essays on what problems you faced and how you overcame those adversities. And yes, I think similar question.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's how you apply, and it's super fun. Even if you like don't get selected, a lot of people don't apply to these scholarships. They think that they will not they'll not get it, they'll not get
Mm-hmm.
selected. But I think that's the point. We're just giving up, and you shouldn't do that. Apply, you don't have anything to lose, and just be
Yeah,
positive, be confident in what you've done, and just talk about it in your application.
exactly. Like As I said earlier, also, like many people self reject themselves. So
Yeah.
that's the biggest mistake one can do. So, last question from my side, a suggestion that Abhishek Sansanwal would like to give all the college students who are willing to start their own startup.
Hmm. Okay. So, what suggestion do I give, man? I would say if you are like looking forward to starting your own company, first gain some experience to know how companies work. That is really important
Mm-hmm.
because if you are going to start a company, you need to build a team,
Mm-hmm.
right? In team building, a team is like probably the biggest asset a company has. In fact,
Mm-hmm.
even before the investments and the money, your team is all that you have to make all those ideas, to achieve all those goals, to make those things happen. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, learn how these companies work, gain the right skills that are needed. And of course, like, you don't need to have all the skills. Since you are starting the company, you could
Mm-hmm.
you could ask people that have those skills. Like, you could ask someone who has skills in web development, and they
Mm-hmm.
could make a website for you.
Yeah.
So yeah, build the right team, and make sure that your idea has a market fit. Now, one question that I get is, TikTok didn't have any market fit. People didn't need TikTok, but still it was an app that they could see that people would use every day, and they are using. They were right.
Yeah, it
um,
pretty
so
like
yeah,
it went trending.
yeah. So yeah, just make sure you can see your product being used every single day, and more importantly, make sure you are solving a problem, and that there is a market for what you're doing. So understand your market, understand the ABCs of what you are doing,
Mm-hmm.
and how you're going to be different from rest of the competitors in the space.
That's a pretty amazing advice. Thank you, Abhishek, for coming to Fiddy Show, and it was a great session with you. Hope to talk to you again soon.